What's going on, you guys? If you're new here, my name is Morgan and welcome back to another video. So unfortunately, I cannot believe I'm making this video. I kind of would hope I would have good news, but unfortunately I don't have good news at all. Unfortunately, I have pretty mediocre news right now, and I guess you could say that it's good news depending on how you take it, but for me it's not really good news. So unfortunately, my truck has been declared totaled. So according to these backwoods small insurance company that is not one of these large ones that it takes forever to get a hold of, that will not answer your phone calls and that will ignore your phone calls for weeks on end, will not answer a lawyer summons. Unfortunately, my truck has been declared totaled. They hired a third party outside inspector to Sprite. They hired a third party inspector or claims adjuster to look at my truck, and they declared it totaled. So this has been, let's count how many weeks this has been. Let me pull it up on my calendar. Let's see. Let's count. It happened July 13th. 1, 2, 3, almost a whole month since my accident happened, and just now getting told that it was totaled. My insurance company was ready to deal with it immediately, but due to unforeseen circumstances with me, I didn't want to do it through my insurance company and went through theirs. But unfortunately, it has been declared totaled. I am now out of a truck. Now, I did have the option to going and getting it, but that's a whole can of worms in itself, and it's been clear that this is a whole mess in itself, and I really don't want to go through that. I don't want to go get the truck and then suddenly, oh, here's problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. So I just decided I'm just going to cut my losses with it and just let it go. So, the damage to the truck was pretty minute, if you really want to talk about it. This lady hit my exhaust pipe and knocked it down. And, the exhaust pipe on a Chevy truck, my Chevy truck, was like under the back tire, under the back passenger side tire. But she hit me so hard that it actually knocked it down. She was up under the truck, messed up the bumper, messed up the quarter panels. The estimated repair on it was $5,700, and apparently, according to them, the worth was $1,600. So it was not worth it to fix it. And while I can agree with that till my face turns blue, I am not going to mess with it because I have learned my lesson that dealing with this insurance company, I might as well just, get it and go. Just not argue, just let them total it and get the check from it and just be done with it. Because at this point, I'm about ready to pull my hair out with how bad it has been dealing with these people. This insurance company is the worst insurance company I've ever had to deal with. And I am waiting till this is all over before telling y'all what insurance. If it's even something I'm going to talk about in the future about which insurance company it is. But it's a backwoods, no, not in the state insurance company. Sold by a third party. So here we are today dealing with this still after a month. They do not want to talk to the lawyer, but at this point, I am not dealing with it. The lawyer is responsible for dealing with it. But the lawyer, everybody at this point has been lying to me. I have figured it out real fast about everybody, including the lawyer lying to me, not telling me the truth. The people that had my truck, I found that out the hard way. They were lying to me, and I found out when I got the bill that they were lying to me and not telling me the truth. And then last but not least, obviously, we have this insurance company that is being the biggest pain in the butt that I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. And I'm so glad when it is over. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm so glad when it's done. But we still got a while to go because, of course, in this insurance company's fashion, I was supposed to get a phone call from their to figure out what happens to my truck and what I want done with it. And this was, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday. Have not received a phone call. Had to leave a message. Still have not received a call back. The lawyer has called. They have not received anything from the lawyer. So unfortunately, it's like, you're pulling teeth at this point because you're trying to get a hold of these people and they just don't want to take the calls. And that is the worst part about this is they're just making this as hard as humanly possible to even just begin to deal with. And I can't even believe it. At this point, I don't even know how I'm tolerating it and not losing my mind because this is a nightmare. This is my first ever accident and they have made this horrible. My insurance company was ready to deal with it, but I'd rather them deal with it and because I don't think I would have, they would have seen the money. I don't know what would have happened if I would have went through my insurance. But this whole thing has just been an absolute nightmare for me and for the dogs. And I'm lucky I did have a new vehicle. Brecken had to go have emergency surgery. What would have happened if I didn't have a vehicle at that time? What would have happened to Brecken? Obviously, they wouldn't have, done anything to help me with Brecken. They couldn't even get me a rental car. And luckily, I just got this one, my Toyota, from my mom. And luckily, we're in a better spot than what we were because of that car. I've got all these errands and everything I have to do for the dogs. And you're telling me you want me to sit around and not work, not take care of my dogs, not take care of my life. You'd rather me sit around for a month while you twiddle your thumbs and try to figure out what you're going to do and what lie you're going to make up next. So unfortunately, I'm ready for this to be over. My back, I'm in so much pain. It's a nightmare having to deal with all of this, but I'm so ready for this to be done. I can't even describe it to you. The dogs, with the dogs, if something would have actually happened where I didn't have a vehicle, I don't know what would have happened with that. So luckily, we got out not really unscathed, but relatively well off, I guess, in terms of, not being without a vehicle for too long. But this is their MO. This is what they do. This has been I've looked at the reviews on the Better Business Bureau. This is what they do. That's why I got a lawyer in the first place, because when I Googled it, because I couldn't get a hold of them for a week, I Googled them and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, seeing all these reviews that are horrible about how horrid, disgusting, terrible this insurance company is. So I'm like, okay. So I just need to do this and just get it over with. So I got a lawyer and went from there. But yeah, so the truck is totaled. Despite it not being a horrible accident, it's done. It's totaled. I don't know where I'm going from here with this insurance company. I just know I'm ready for it to be over with. I've never met such just absolutely horrid insurance. It's just disgusting. But yeah, so figure out where we go from here. Today's Friday, so obviously nothing for the weekend, aside from a bunch of regular errands, dealing with the dogs, and same old thing, different day. So anyways, yeah, it's totaled. Goodbye, truck. Gonna go ahead and end this video. Eventually, hopefully I'll get another truck, but we'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and as usual, you guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next video. See you guys.